You were just watching us. You just saw the update from Governor Hogan and School Superintendent Dr. Karen Salmon. The state is working to get students back to school safely, whether that's virtually or in person. But tonight, an update from the governor on those efforts. WMAR 2 News' Eddie Kadam, live in Annapolis, just listened to that update from the governor. And I'm sure some districts may be surprised to hear what the governor had to say. Eddie?
Yeah, good evening, Kelly. That's right. The meeting just wrapped up and the governor making his stance abundantly clear. He expects all school districts to come up with a plan and deliver on it to get back to in-school learning. He was looking at key health metrics that he says he worked with the state health department on to determine that they should be able to open up schools again. Looking at this 5% line that he talked about a lot, it's above or below 5% positivity rate. If it's above 5% positivity, he said there should be some type of hybrid plan. If it's below 5%, he said school districts should start looking at getting every student back into schools while still following CDC guidelines. When we're talking about that, we're talking about masks. Masks on every child in every building while they're on the buses at all times. And that also means that they'll be doing social distancing as well as making sure that all of the kids are tested, and if they have, or not tested, if all the kids have any symptoms, that they do tell their school, they tell their district immediately, and they're held out of school. On that, though, there was no clear plan on what will be done if there are positive cases of any students in the school. The health director saying, the interim health director saying only that that will be up to the local districts. And another thing that will also be up to the local districts is the decision to do this. That's still going to be up to them. The governor's saying he doesn't have the authority or power to make schools reopen, but he is saying, he is strongly suggesting it and saying that all of this statistics support that decision, also pointing to a $10 million in funding, grant funding for schools that do move into in-person learning by the end of the first quarter. That'll be kind of an incentive for schools to move a little faster here. There was some comments from the teachers union already about this. We're going to get a little bit more into that in a minute, but the first day of school right around the corner, that's going to be the day after Labor Day for most schools. That's September 8th. So a lot of movement here for schools, obviously, to try to get in line with what the governor wants done. But for now, live outside of Annapolis, Eddie Kadam, WMAR 2 News.
All right, so Eddie, a lot of these school districts are already planning to be virtual for the whole fall semester. Did the governor say that he was going to make it mandatory, and did he give any indication of when he wants to see this happen?
Kelly, that question did come up. The figure of time that kept coming up was by the end of the first quarter. That's when he wants a plan to be in place. He did say that he's disappointed that a lot of the school district didn't have any type of hybrid plan in place for a return to school. And he did say that he's not going to make it mandatory. He doesn't have a timeline on when or how he could even make it mandatory for these school districts to change their policy.
Kadam, live for us in Annapolis. We'll hear much more from you coming up at 6 o'clock. Thanks a lot, Eddie. Well, as Eddie mentioned, the Maryland Educators Association already responding, tweeting this response to Governor Hogan saying, quote, "The state abdicated responsibility for months for creating reopening standards and told districts to develop their own plans. Now they undercut hard decisions schools have made to keep students and educators safe days before the year begins. This is a recipe for chaos and confusion." We'll have much more on that coming up.